This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.
Welcome to the Barbados Today Afternoon Update for Wednesday, June 3rd. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Thanks for joining us. We begin with news that the meeting between the National Union of Public Workers and the Ministry of Finance is now on the way at government headquarters. The two sides are trying to resolve issues surrounding the planned merger of the Customs and Excise Department with the Barbados Revenue Authority. The NUPW Acting General Secretary, led by Roslyn Smith, is hoping that several expectations proposed by its members will be met during today's talks. However, in an interview with Barbados Today, Smith did not disclose what those expectations were. Today's meeting follows a similar one between Finance Minister Chris Sinclair and officials of the Barbados Workers Union, which also represents some of the customs workers. At that meeting, Minister Sinclair assured the BWU that its members will not be disadvantaged by the July 1 move. And we will have more on this story in our next update. Meantime, band leaders, party promoters and tent managers are crying out. They say the terms by the Barbados Revenue Authority are cutting into their profits again this year, with at least one veteran band leader scaling back on his production this crop over. Popular Power by 4 band leader Chetwin Stewart tells Barbados Today he is now forced to produce less costumes this year because of the taxes being imposed on him by BRA.
You know, it's affecting everything. Okay. It even affect my order. I I'm making less costumes this year for sure. Because I can't afford. I can't afford to be less battery costumes. Yeah. I can't afford to be less battery costumes. Right? Because if I give them away, to do promotions, or if I sell them cheap, I still have to pay on the program. So they affect all the promoting and all the events. Okay. All the events will be affected for sure.
Band leader of Wednesday 2000, Marky Holder, agrees and argues that being in charge of a carnival band is business and should be treated as such.
It is more business now than anything else. And, everybody has their time. Crop over and partying is a young people's game, And with the dynamics, it's not my business. And I would have to make a kind of take a different direction to go into that aspect of it where, now you have to adhere to bra and fat and all these different things. And so there are a lot of dynamics to a band now that are totally different and which the public does not understand.
Barbados is playing catch-up when it comes to women in entertainment, so says Culture Minister Stephen Lashley. Delivering remarks at a function honoring women in the industry, Lashley said while they are making a great impact in the cultural industry, women are yet to reap the $1 million rewards as in developed countries.
Tonight, of course, is special because we are here to honor our women in the entertainment field, which is vastly becoming a major sector to be reckoned with, not only in Barbados but across the Caribbean. To some extent, I believe that in Barbados we are playing catch-up with a multi-billion-dollar industry that has taken the world by storm. And not only have we been able to cement our place in history by producing some of the best women in this field, but we have done it in style.
In other news, the newly appointed principal of the Kayville campus of the University of the West Indies is predicting a steady return to growth in the student population against a backdrop of a more than 20% drop in enrollment numbers for the 2014-2015 academic year. Professor Udin Barito sees growth in both the undergraduate and graduate levels. Addressing the biennial conference of the university's School of Education at the Accra Beach Hotel yesterday, Professor Barito said she expects this expansion to happen through a vigorous marketing campaign focusing on the regional and international markets. Environment Minister Dr. Dennis Lowe is appealing to householders to manage their waste properly. The call comes as the minister and private haulers continue dialogue on the controversial $25 tipping fee or part thereof imposed on waste disposal at the Sustainable Barbados Recycling Center.
Barbados is now producing over 1,000 tons of waste per day. So it is something that we have to look at seriously. It's costing more and more to manage our waste program. And the truth is that it cannot be a burden carried only by some. Every household in Barbados generates waste. It is my considered opinion that every household in Barbados should contribute to the management of waste.
Dr. Lowe is also taking issue with the manner in which coconut vendors are leaving shells on the island's roads.
The coconut vendors, I am not happy with what they're doing. And I can't for the life of me understand how you could come, make your money, and then leave your waste behind for somebody to clean up behind you and don't want to foot any bill for it. It is not fair. It is not fair in a society that is striving to become a first world society.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Some news from the world of sports now. Former FIFA Vice President Jack Warner is a wanted man. The Trinidad and Tobago national was today placed on Interpol's most wanted list, along with 2 former FIFA officials and 4 executives on charges including racketeering and corruption. Warner is accused of taking a bribe in exchange for helping South Africa secure the rights to host the 2010 World Cup. He is currently on bail in Trinidad. The red notices come just 24 hours after Sepp Blatter stepped down as FIFA president amid the widening corruption scandal, which also led to the arrest of Kimanian Jeffrey Webb. Meantime, Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar and her former National Security Minister Jack Warner are currently at odds amid the international football scandal. The relationship between the Prime Minister and the former ruling party chairman has descended to the point where Persad-Bissessar has publicly denied that she ever personally benefited from any support from Warner, who contested the Chaguanas West seat for her United National Congress in 2010. Our editor-in-chief, Kemar Jordan, spoke to Warner immediately following those elections, in which he pledged his full support to the then newly elected Prime Minister. Take a listen.
Ms. Persad-Bissessar seems very grateful to you. She said it in her victory speech. Does this mean that you're going to be in the cabinet? That's been the big question.
Well, she's asking me and I haven't answered her yet.
What are you thinking hard on?
You see, whatever I do 150%. And if I were to agree to be in cabinet, it means that my entire football career comes to an end. And after 28 consecutive years, I am still indecisive.
It's a setback. I wouldn't like that at all.
I'm still indecisive of whether I should give it up now or not. At the end of the day, if I could serve 2 masters, that would be the ideal thing. But I will see.
So you mean more of an advisory role, you think, to the cabinet rather than in the cabinet itself?
I would much prefer something like that. But then again, she wants me to play a more effective role. She just said she wants me to sit on her right side.
And finally, on the international scene, reports of multiple injuries in Ukraine as fierce fighting rages between government forces and pro-Russian rebels in the east of the country. The clashes, said to involve heavy artillery and tanks, are taking place in two towns just outside the rebel-held city of Donetsk. More than 6,400 people have been killed in the fighting in eastern Ukraine that began in April 2014. And on that note, we come to the end of our afternoon updates, but you can join us again this evening. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, our email updates, and like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. We're also on Channel 101 online TV as well as Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. To have a wonderful day.
This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? #sexy.